into my car. We are going to hit Copeland's Bakery and then 3, maybe 4 different supermarkets, which is a bit mad, but let's see if I can get a good grocery haul to share with you. Off we go. So later on in the day we're back home and let's have a look at what I managed to get. Overall I spent just under $175. I went to 2 supermarkets and an independent bakery and also a butcher and veggie shop combined into one shop. So I was able to use the Grocer app to quickly look at the price of meats and determine it was cheaper to get the chicken from the independent butchery than it was to get it from the supermarket that I planned to that day. As you can see here, I sped it up, but we're just breezing through all of the items that I got today. There are quite a few snack foods, convenience foods, and low nutritional kind of junk type items. I'm not going to sit there and try and justify each and every purchase, but know that I like to try and bake because it's cheaper and I have more control over things like sugar and fat. However, my children have very specific food aversions, and sometimes feeding them is better than having an all-out fight with them to get them to take one bite of the healthy food. So I try and have a balance and not beat myself up too much, and I like to have some things in the cupboard for those days when, you know, when food is a real battle for my children. So I have 5 tips or things I do that I think save me money. The first is don't shop hungry. Number 2 is make a list and stick to it. Well, mostly. I think if you see a really good special on something that your family eat regularly, you should get it, even if it's not on your list. The next thing is plan out your meals, but also plan your snacks out too. I know for myself I can go completely off budget if I don't buy enough snack food or if I get caught hungry while I'm out and about. And it's amazing how quickly you can blow your cafe budget on a couple of coffees and a sneaky buy. So I've got into the habit over the last year of doing some meal planning and preparation on Sunday night. And this involves often doing a bit of baking for my children's lunches, making up some jelly and putting it in little cups. Ideally they would have some fruit with that, but they don't like eating canned fruit. So that's an idea. Making up a big batch of popcorn, cutting up carrot sticks or celery sticks, which you can trim up and then put in a jar in water and they will keep for the week. Having hummus on hand for that, toasting some seeds, steaming a chicken breast or some chicken tenderloins, just wrapping it up, making a little packet out of tin foil and putting it in the oven for 15 or 20 minutes, steams it beautifully and it's lovely and tender, and you can tear that up and it's great for salads and sandwiches. My next point is potentially controversial in the way that I'm going to express it, but I think don't be loyal to a brand or a chain of supermarkets because they're not loyal to you. I think we naturally assume the purpose of a supermarket is to provide food to their communities, but they're a business and their real purpose is to make profit for their shareholders, and they do this by providing food to you at the greatest possible cost that you will bear. Also, I think it's worth bearing in mind that supermarkets spend a lot of money on the psychology of marketing and how to lay out their stores just to maximize the amount of money that you spend with them. Does that sound like loyalty? My last tip is kind of a behavioural shift that I've gone through in the last few months, and some of it's to do with the situation in the world today. And when New Zealand opened up and we decided we weren't going to have lockdowns anymore, I remember the official government line was to prepare yourself and your family by having enough food and medicine on hand for at least a week, so that if you needed to isolate, you would be set. I have to tell you that when I was little and growing up, my family went through some really hard times, and there were times when there wasn't enough food to eat, and I think those experiences have stayed with me, and that sense of food insecurity is something that drives me to want to put good nutritious meals on the table for my children, and for that to be my top priority in terms of my variable spending. So with those two things combined, my behavioural shift is this. When I do my list, my grocery list, and I do my meal plan, I shop my pantry and my freezer. I don't shop the supermarket. So when you see me grocery shopping, and when you look at my haul from earlier on today, you will notice there are some things missing, like milk. That is because I have a stash of milk in my freezer. What that also means is that I'm working on getting a pantry that has enough food in it to last us for at least a month, and that's what I meal plan from. So when I go to the supermarket, I'm looking to replenish my freezer and my pantry, and it means that I don't have to buy things that I need for a meal this week at a price that I don't like. I can buy things when they're a good price, and I can pass on them when they're not. And I think overall this is really helping to bring my grocery spend down, but it's a commitment over a good couple of months to shift from writing out a list and going to get that list at the supermarket to only having to buy fresh vegetables and dairy products every week, and potentially doing bigger stock up shops once a month. So that's it. Those are my 5 habits I am using at the moment to try and keep my grocery bill down, or at least manageable. I hope there's something there that you can take away and use in your own life. Thank you for being here. I'll be back a little bit later in the week with my weekly cash stuffing video. Don't forget to give this video a wee like, and until then, mā te wā.